Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of College Football Uncensored podcast brought to you by Texas Pete and Saturday Down South. I'm Tyler, that's Chris. Chris, how we doing today, buddy?
Oh, it's been a long day.
A long day, huh?
Yeah. Saban showing off that long dick, getting 9
Whoa.
5-stars.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to start. We're going to bring some heat. We were always bringing Pete. We're going to bring some heat.
That was so extreme, though.
That was a lot. Yeah, I didn't like it.
How many 5-stars did you say?
9.
All right, well, let's jump into that because today is signing day. It doesn't feel like it.
It sucked,
because
right?
It's not really signing day to me.
God, you're so negative. Where are the comments?
Did you honestly pay attention to signing day today?
So, Tyler, this is my whole last job. So, yes, I did. I did a deep dive for the last 2 days, probably, on some interesting stats and stuff that I thought was kind of interesting. Not everyone did. But looking at total 5-stars signed in the history of SEC and all this other stuff. But we talked about this. I remember the first year we recorded, when we started the pod, and it was the first year they had December signing, or maybe it was even the year before we started. I was talking about with Connor, but I remember looking at it, and there were 80 kids out of the top 100 on 24/7 that had already either committed or signed. It was just done. It was 80%. So there's no, and most of them are the, big time recruits. So not a lot of fun surprises or anything like that, especially in the SEC where everything's an arms race and they're just trying to get it done as soon as possible. You know how many there were going into today that weren't committed?
5%.
Four total players.
4 total players?
There were 2 5-stars and there were 2 others in the entire top 100 that were deciding today. That Rashad.
So 4%.
Mm-hmm. And one of them pushed it back. One of the 5-stars, the tight end, who's probably going to go to Georgia because of fucking course he is he pushes back. The just emotional roller coaster and the blood pressure I just felt rise reading Jeff Rollins' comment here about Bama can't claim those 5-stars because they were on a different team before. That's good. That's good. Also, Teddy Simpson, what's up? Where are you from? What you drinking? This is an OG listener here. Chris Smith said Bama needs to sign more 5-stars because of how many are transferring out. So that's fun to get my own facts and deep dives that I dug up used against me now, which I did not see coming. I should have thought that one through.
So the class is now official. I guess Deuce Robinson is still yet to sign.
Oh, white guy named Deuce.
Dude, his dad went to Florida State, man.
That makes
tough
sense.
times.
That tracks.
Alabama, 9 5-stars, as you said, according to the 247 composite.
Is that
obviously
good?
It's pretty good. I will say that it does seem good. That includes, what is there, one at every single position?
Okay, so this is something that's weird because you think about the storyline that we heard for most of the year about Will Anderson, especially not getting to the quarterback. Will Anderson and Dallas Turner are superstars, or from a talent standpoint, especially. Combined, they only had, I think, 13 and a half sacks combined. Why? What is it? Okay. So I looked into this. The edge position, right, for edge rushers is a position that 24/7 Sports just started tracking or ranking 3 years ago. Before it was weak side linebacker, D end, whatever. But specific edge rushers, they've only been ranking that position for 3 years. In those 3 years, there have been 10 total 5-stars. Bama has signed 6 of them. Jesus. And they've signed the number 1 player at that position every single year it's been available. And that also doesn't include Chris Braswell, who's still before that time was technically a weak side linebacker. So they got 6 out of the 10. Georgia got 2. Texas A&M got 1. And I think one of them was Oregon or some shit.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that edge class, how ridiculous that was. So 3 5-star edge rushers.
in this class alone. They had 2 last year and 1 the year before.
It's crazy the amount of talent that was in the state of Alabama this year coming out.
Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot.
Have you seen Have you seen that?
Seen what?
Here, I'll try to go to it while we talk about this.
Alabama.
They probably had like, I don't know, at least 5 5-stars come out of the state of Alabama this year.
Yeah, that doesn't happen ever. I think Georgia got one of them. And we're obviously going to talk about Bama because they I think there's 2 winners from today. Like, and I initially had the hat on for the other winner, but then it looked kind of goofy. But how about Shane fucking Beamer, man?
Oh yeah, dude, the DN, man. Nicholas Harbor.
Is he a DN?
I think he's a DN. Like his body type is DN-ish, but he runs like a running back.
So they're going to play him at receiver, is what Shane Beamer said. He's 6'5", 225, and he runs a 10-2-2 100-meter dash. Like, how are you that?
You're playing him at receiver?
Yeah. And honestly, now it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal that Jaheim Bell left.
Right.
Catching up with some of the comments, this is probably also going to be a little bit more of the format going into the offseason is being a little bit more interactive. What's up, William Gray? Yeah, I mean, and I always say those 2 were the winners from today because there wasn't that much room for improvement for any of these classes, right? Like, most of the hay was like already in the barn. I mean, again, the 9 5-stars thing is fucking stupid, obviously. There were 39 total 5-stars. Remember, we had this conversation before the season, and I said, like, conspiracy theory, now that NIL is so rampant, I wonder if these recruiting services are going to start, like, upping the number of 5-stars and shit like that and somehow get involved in the money. And the first thing I said was, look at the amount of 5-star quarterbacks. There's like 5, and they're all ranked in the top, like 8 in the country. There were 30-something the first time we looked at this. And then like after I did that deep dive, remember it went down to like 24, like the next week. Back up, there's 39 total 5-stars in this year's class. The SEC took 21 of those, which I honestly was kind of surprised it wasn't more. The Big 12 took 7, which was just OU and Texas. The
future SEC teams. These kids will be playing in the SEC.
Right.
Those kids that go to Texas and Oklahoma.
The Pac-12 got 5. The ACC got 4. Y'all got 1, I think Clemson, and then Miami had 2. The Big 10, 1 total 5-star in the entire conference. And of course, it went to Ohio State.
Right.
And I honestly, it was kind of interesting just because I know I looked at this last year or the year before, and I remember like the number was a little bit more staggering. It was like 23 of 31 or something like that of the 5-stars went to the SEC. It was crazy, kind of skewed in just that direction for the SEC. But this year, I think some of the things we were saying with NIL, like these kind of like early predictions of what we thought would happen. NIL would be I remember saying that NIL would be the quickest way to get blue bloods back to relevancy. Mm-hmm. You have hungry donors, they're going to spend a shit ton of money. You look at Tennessee, USC, Miami, all that kind of shit. Where are the other 5-stars going? Texas, Oklahoma, Miami, USC.
Yep, UCLA even.
UCLA got 1, yeah.
I saw Arizona State landed the Rashada kid today.
That's a tough break, man.
His dad played football there, so.
I mean, but like imagine like you were so close to being like a multimillionaire, and instead of that, now you're just going to go out to the desert and get like HPV like everyone else there.
Eesh.
Tough, yeah. Tough scene.
Yeah. So obviously Alabama and Georgia are going to be your top ranked teams.
I don't know why you're including Georgia, and we're not a pair. Okay, they're not the top. There's one top ranked team, Tyler.
What about when Deuce Robinson commits?
Bama has the 3rd highest recruited class in the history of whatever. Georgia can't catch him on that, but Georgia I think will have 6 5-stars at that point.
Yeah. Just dumb. Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio State, LSU, Miami, Oregon, Tennessee, Notre Dame round out the top 10. So
we'll go to the top 25 because South Carolina had to move up. The SEC had 7 different teams land a 5-star.
I don't know why some of these logos are huge.
I don't either. I guarantee you, it's probably something that like an A&M fan probably like hacked the server and just was like.
South Carolina ended up at 16.
That's really big.
Yeah.
They pulled that kid. They pulled that kid from Washington D.C. first off, and it was between them and Oregon. And I didn't realize until after he committed, because he's going to run track in college. Like that's a big get for Shane Beamer. It's not a kid in their backyard, for one, and then to like Oregon track. Like I mean, I just feel like that's a lot of obstacles and uphill battles that he had to overcome. But that's really good.
Nick Holcomb in the chat says, well, he answered his own question before he even asked it. So he says, NIL will be a strong recruiting pitch moving forward. And then he asks, how in the world is Miami 7? You answered it with your first thing that you said. NIL will be a strong recruiting pitch moving forward. Notre Dame is 10 because of Sam Hartman committing. I mean,
I don't think he counts for that.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah. This is not including transfers.
I did. I also did a deep dive of the total amount of 5-stars all time that all the blue bloods around the country would have signed. Miami's up there. I think you know who. I looked through the SEC. I think this gives like South Carolina like their 7th 5-star of all time, which I thought was like kind of surprising, a little bit low. But of course, Bama and Georgia are 1 and 2. I think Ohio State was 3. Florida State, like I think was 3rd or 4th with like 58 5-stars all time.
Oh, yeah. We believe it or not, we used to recruit very well.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I thought that was really interesting because I think the fact that when you talk about like anyone trying to play catch up with Georgia, I don't think it's going to happen. But like Beamer has been great, like in his first 2 years, and he just keeps winning these battles. You don't think he's going to win?
Yeah, I'm shocked that kid. I mean, I had heard good things, obviously, for South Carolina leading up to it, but I was just shocked to even hear that. And the fact that they landed him. I mean, obviously, NIL is going to play a role in a lot of these big-time recruits. So, I mean, you can't really just say, well, NIL got it. I mean, you could, but I don't know. I just feel like NIL, like, South Carolina is going to be the highest bidder if you're going up against the big boys. So
no, and I love the fact that they're still having success there, for one, and then 2, I don't know if you saw his commitment graphic. I think Hayes Fawcett made it. He's the worst, but the graphic was like one of the pictures of this kid when he was like, I guess, on campus taking all like their fucking pictures and shit. They had a Bojangles themed like boombox, because there's a Bojangles right across the street from Williams-Brice, which is just I thought that was awesome.
Beautiful.
The other thing was, what was it that I thought was interesting was it wasn't Beamer. It was the fact that like I thought about this earlier, because like if you are anybody that's on social media or TikTok or just ventures out into the world and sees the generation following like millennials, like Gen Z.
Yeah.
They're the fucking worst.
Like dude, this is how it starts, dude. You sound like boomers did when we were coming up as millennials.
Okay, first off, just let me finish what I'm saying for a second, Liz, and let me just go from here.
You're a boomer. That's what you're saying.
No. What I'm saying is, like, a couple weeks ago, they were eating like fucking NyQuil flavored chicken, and like I don't understand any of like most of the language, and I know I sound old right now, but have you noticed that the lack of drama with these announcements for signing day now? I haven't seen one angry mom. I have only seen one angry dad, and that was when Facebook sent me a friend recommendation this morning at 6:30 for my own fucking father, which was a whole other thing we got to get into later.
No, we're not.
My God. But yeah, I mean, like there's not any kind of like crazy drama, I feel like, at these actual announcements anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think all the videos and all the shit that they do on campus. Yeah, I love seeing the pictures of Dan Mullen doing that.
Yeah, I guess that's
just doesn't look right.
There's a crazy amount of fucking glamour shots and like just Olin Mills on steroids that they have set up there now.
Yeah,
What do you do with pictures of the school you don't go to?
I keep them on the gram, bro.
I guess, yeah. For when you never,
dude, I don't know. I'm a father of 2. All right, maybe I should start learning this stuff for when my kids get to this age. I'm not looking forward to it, man.
I don't think either of your kids are going to be athletic enough to.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, Holden's already starting to play John Mayer. He's bringing the acoustic guitar to the party, man. It's only 4. True. It's a good move, but I mean, still.
Dude, he's 18 months.
Yeah, okay, totally. I meant like in dog years. Anyway, no, it was a pretty good, I think, like all around close to the signing day stuff. I did this deep dive where I looked at, like I said, the total 5 stars that were like each team has landed in the SEC all time. This is going to shock you, but Vandy never had one. They haven't even signed a top 100 recruit. And you know who their 3rd highest ranked recruit in the history of that program is? How about you next? You come down up, we're going to show you what kind of ball.
Oh, that guy?
Play. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, anyway.
Dang, no. Yeah, I remember that. That was when we had the old podcast. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we need to talk about Stetson? I mean, I feel like at this point.
All right. But like,
it's just stupid. I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, I'm going to.
Okay.
Why are you fucking playing Ding Dong Ditch at 25? Go commit a felony, bro. Like, what do you do? Like, go steal some shit.
Is that really what happened?
Yeah.
They just ding dong ditch somebody? That was it?
I guess. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. Like, I woke up at like 1 o'clock on Sunday, hungover as shit, because I went out for the first time in the Highlands in 3 years. And I had a bunch of texts like, you see Stetson? And I was like, I'm going to throw up on my phone right now. Please stop. And then there was like a video that reportedly surfaced of him like getting tackled by the cops, but it looked just like the Baker Mayfield thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly don't know. All of that was like kind of like a blur, but I mean, yeah, bro, like, yeah, whatever. Like drunk in public. I'm not trying to say this to be funny. He's been drunk in public almost every time we've seen him not playing football. Unless he's at Canes for whatever reason, like on like that Monday morning shift he does after they win the Natty every year.
Maybe he'll go on Gruden's camp and they'll bring Harbaugh in and be like, you got a alcohol problem?
You like beer, huh? Yeah.
You like sex?
Beer. Oh man.
Just the worst scene ever. No, I mean, yeah, the Stetson thing, I'm just done. I just want him to like move on to the league so we can stop talking about all the Stetson stuff.
What are you more tired of hearing? My problems in general, Stetson Bennett, he made someone mad because he didn't write a thank you note for something or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or my personal favorite, don't you even fucking think about claiming that player that went to your school for some period of time as your actual player. Because I swear to God, dude, I'll ruin the next 3 to 4 days of your life on Twitter. I swear to God.
So my options are that, hearing about your problems,
which are always changing,
right? Or hearing about, what was the third? Stetson. I hear all about all 3 every day.
Jalen Hurts thing is so fucking stupid. It's just so fucking stupid.
All right, go off, Queen.
All right, here we go. Here's the deal. Fuck Brandon Walker for one. I'll just say it. Like that, like just the fact that like this is, I know it's not a real argument. And also like I shouldn't be the one that's like handling anything with like logic and reason because I never do that. But like, I just don't understand how bored we have to be like, you know what? I'm going to invest time and energy into being mad about Bama fans claiming this or Joe Burrow being claimed, but who fucking cares? Like, who fucking cares? What if we just look at it and like, hey, that guy, Jalen Hurts, you know, he did play, he was a 2-year starter at Alabama and he got pulled in the national championship game, which I know Brandon Walker, who I'm assuming has never played sports in his entire life, he took that very personally because like that was the biggest game of Jalen's life, not everyone's. And, you know, to have him come out of that game, and I'm assuming we have a very short-term memory where like you don't remember that he also came back in that same building and then led a comeback against Georgia in the same building he was benched in 11 months later, winning the SEC championship. I just just be happy for the kid. He's doing great. I don't get it.
Great.
He is. I don't like.
Yeah, no, he is. He's far exceeded my expectations of what he'd do in the league. I mean, I didn't think he'd be horrible, but I mean, he's damn well. I mean, he was on his way to winning MVP. I don't know if he will, but actually, I don't even think he's a candidate.
I think he is, but also I do have to say this one part, and I'm gonna feed this stupid shit, even though I shouldn't. But Georgia fans, if you are thinking about weighing in on this, about like Bama fans ever saying negative things about their quarterback, just sit this one out. Just go polish the trophies, enjoy like being back-to-back champs, and just fucking sit this one out. Because of all the conversations that I feel like you don't have a leg to stand on, it's that one. And I got sent like a DM from some stranger who was like, "Oh, you said Bama fans never talk shit about Jalen?" I was like, "I've never met you. I'd never said that. I don't know. The internet's a big place. I'm sure you'll find something." And of course, my favorite thing on the internet, he did a 4-pick collage of like
you talking shit about Jalen.
No, these 4 people I don't know on Twitter from 2017 that were like, Jalen Hurts sucks. I'm like, okay, I don't like. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I could just imagine him going into Google and typing in Twitter advanced search. Jalen Hurts sucks.
Oh, babe, I found it. I told you I'd fucking find it. 7 different people, dude. 7 people from 2017 said that Jalen Hurts sucks.
Put him up. Let's make a collage.
I'm gonna show up at their fucking doorstep, and I'm gonna Chris Hansen their ass if they say one more positive thing.
Print it on a sign.
Yeah. He said he had 2 natties. Leave him be. I love it. It's so crazy. Somebody said Freebird. William Gray said horny for recognition, which I thought was, it was something.
It was something.
Yeah.
Speaking of people getting spicy, just had to make that transition over to Texas Pete.
Oh man,
the spiciest of spice. Let's take a quick time out here. Talk about Texas Pete. They have the spice and the flavor that really kicked the football season up a notch in 2022. I feel like this season was so good because of Texas Pete. In a way.
You felt like this was a good season?
Fantastic season.
I felt like it was a bad season, but Texas Pete was the only thing that got me through.
Oh, see, I think Texas Pete is what made it great for me.
Yeah, I mean, like
it's all about perspective.
Yeah, we had very different I feel like you're like the guy that I like run into like outside of like Whole Foods when I'm like changing my tire because it's flat for some reason and I can't afford to go to Whole Foods, and you have like a Life is Good shirt on. And I'm like, fuck you, Doug. Like, life is good for real. But then we had a bond over Texas Pete. I honestly, I will say, I'll just hijack that ad read because let's just make it organic, bro, and truthful. I went out and had more to drink than I've had in several years.
Do we need to talk about it? Like, everything
no, it was awesome. Like, I haven't been out in the Highlands like in forever, and like I ran into like all these old like friends and people I hadn't seen in years. People were nice,
which was good.
Yeah, that was a plus. It was like really fun because that was like my favorite. I lived there for years, and it was like my favorite place and my favorite time. And then I came home and I just dumped just 3 different bags of frozen whatever onto a pan and cooked it all together.
You did the grandma's boy?
Yeah. It was like hash browns, sausage balls, and I think like chicken nuggets, like dino nuggets. And I just what I did was I put the Texas Pete barbecue on this side, the honey mustard in the middle, and then the wing sauce on this side. They were all touching a little bit too, though. So I could dabble in all of them. I'll be honest. When I say dabble, I just was drunk, just smearing it all over myself. It was great.
Well, if you want more because you used it all the other night, go to TexasPete.com. Type in the promo code Uncensored.
Yeah.
20% off your order. Win big with Texas Pete when you sauce like you mean it. Let's move on, Chris. What else we got going on in the wide world of college football?
We should get matching like like bedazzled like denim hats or matching t-shirts that say like sauce ass bitch.
No, I got it. You have inside heat that we need to hear about.
Sauce ass bitch.
Speaking of heat, you got the inside heat. So
all
tell
right,
me
so
what's going on
Georgia
with the
fans.
Bama. What's going on with the Bama OC? You got any insight on the DC hire potentially?
Yeah, I know exactly what's gonna happen in the DC hire. I actually kind of figured it out on my own.
Okay,
but
we're gonna say you have sources, all right?
Yeah, I do. But here's the thing. Okay, so the OC thing is weird because I don't know who they're gonna hire.
So the Washington guy turned them down, basically.
Sure, yeah. I don't think like people got real excited about that. I think like I don't think that was a big deal just because if you're that guy, one, you're not getting paid. Like they're paying Bill O'Brien $1.1 million. So the money wasn't going to be different to stay in Seattle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he has Michael Penix Jr. coming back as his quarterback. Like, and if you're a coordinator, most coordinators, their entire thing is like they're trying to take the next step to become a head coach. Like 90% of them, I feel like. So if this guy is like this up and coming coach, he was a D3 coach like not too long ago. And he's got Michael Penix Jr., who was in like the furthest point away from us and most relevancy, put up ridiculous numbers. They had one of the like best offenses in the country, and he's coming back and you return all that talent. Why the hell would you come down to Tuscaloosa, be told what to do constantly? You're not going to run your offense because they're not going to throw the football 60% of their like play calls, which is what Washington did. And then like, or would you just stay at the place you're at and continue to ride this wave of like everything's working right now? Like, why would you leave that?
Yeah, I mean, he's been with Kalen DeBoer forever too. So
yeah,
you know. So what's the scoop then? What's going on? Like, who are we hiring?
All right, defensive coordinator. This is kind of a nightmare, but it's also, I think, like it's a nightmare for me personally because I'm going to have to deal with this and I'm not going to handle it well on social media.
Oh God.
But I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. And this is not me trying to give you a hot take. I'm telling you with almost absolute certainty what is going to happen with the defensive coordinator position. And just hear me out. Oh, Todd Grantham is going to be the defensive coordinator.
Oh my God.
And here's why. And it's gonna be awful because it's like, how many more fucking things can we give Georgia fans ammo for to make fun of us for like in this very trying and difficult time for Alabama fans?
Now you know how they felt for the last 15 years.
40, but yeah, for sure. So, but here's what's gonna happen. And this hit me on Friday when I was getting my Dino Nuggets from Publix, and I was like my fourth beer in. Pruitt they've been trying to hire Pruitt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they're going to be able to hire Pruitt. And even if they did as the DC, he would not be able to coach on field. He still can't recruit and go on the road with that. So like he's going to be in a very limited role for that. But I went back and was thinking about the fact that when Saban got COVID before the Auburn game in 2020, he made this comment that was kind of weird and it stood out to me about how he didn't realize how much he was still able to do and maybe even more. Like from a coaching standpoint, even though he wasn't on the sidelines, he wasn't there. Like he was doing like interviews and like watching like the actual live stream, and he'd be ahead of the replays and shit like that. And he made all these comments like how he wasn't as taken out of the game and like the situation as he thought he would be. So I'm guaranteeing you what's going to happen is that Jeremy Pruitt is going to be on staff at some point in the very near future at Alabama. And they have pushed and made.
Come on home.
No.
Come on home, Jeremy. Come on home.
Damn it. So, and he's a fantastic defensive coordinator. Yeah, that's like one of the things 100%. That fans love to say about how, like, that defense had been the same since Kirby left. Well, it was ranked number 1 in the country with better numbers the 2 years immediately after he left with Jeremy Pruitt. I think that like Pruitt and Kirby are like, that's how I feel about that. Like as in terms of defensive minds, in the same way I feel about Sark and Kiffin. Like that is the elite. Like I don't think anyone's on their level. I think Pruitt would be the best hire they could possibly find. Schulman maybe long term, but I don't think that's going to happen. But here's the beauty of it. Like Saban doesn't give a fuck about any of the perception about Todd Grantham. Like, do I? Absolutely. I hate looking at Todd Grantham for one, because his face looks like the back of my fucking legs. It's disgusting. So
It just seems like a bad hire.
it's not a hire. So you think this is
He's
what
a puppet.
This is what's going to happen. Yeah, like
God.
Grantham is going to be the defensive coordinator,
In name
and then you're
only.
going to have Nick Saban and Jeremy Pruitt handle the entire defense. Like, and then why? Like, because when I first thought about that, I was like, well, how would Grantham even agree to that though? Because he knows
he's just a cuck at that point.
Well, I wouldn't say that. That seems very aggressive.
But
so
think about
throw that term around very loosely for what it means in the porn world. It's too much, guys. It's too much. So I hope. Yeah, that's like the whole nature of that word, you idiot. You got it. Anyway, we'll talk about
I know the nature
later.
of the word.
Guys, we'll get to cucks later, okay? 0 cucks given. But Grantham has a bit of an ego, and seems like a pretty big asshole as well. So I was thinking, like, why would he even agree to that? I don't think that people are just really knocking down the door to get Todd Grantham hired as like almost any role.
It's the Nick Saban rehab facility, you mean?
So if you get to go up there and be the one that gets like the recognition, you're the defensive coordinator, you get to put this on your resume, and then, oh, by the way, we'll just take care of everything. Just please, I don't know, maybe don't fucking blitz without telling us. Like, don't go rogue and start like sign languaging in like a fucking Mad Dog blitz from Madden 98.
I do think I heard that like off the field analysts are going to have more ability to coach on the field going forward. I think they had voted on that.
I thought that was for baseball.
I think for football as well.
Versus Butch Jones.
So I don't know. That could be. I could just imagine on game day, like Grantham's out there and he's like he has a headset, but it doesn't work, and Pruitt's just down below. He's below the stadium. Just he's watching
wearing that fucking
TV.
bonnet like he did in that one game during COVID.
Yeah, and just call games from like below the stadium.
I'm telling you right now, like I'm not trying to sound like Bobby Boucher's girlfriend in that interview from the bowl game or whatever. Like this is what's going to happen. Like I feel very confident in it. And again, it is a win-win in terms of like Grantham. You can get the recognition. You will be like it's like not how Dan Lanning is. Oh shit.
Oh my.
This is like a little bit like a worse of an example, but like Lanning got so much credit for how great of a DC he was, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Kirby ran the show, I'm sure, and he also had Will Muschamp on the staff, like as the co-DC. Grantham does not have a lot of opportunities right now besides, I don't know, probably some kind of like low budget reality TV like weight loss show that he's going to have to be on in like 3 years. But coaching, not a lot of opportunities. So this is perfect for everybody.
Okay, what about the OC?
I have no fucking clue. It's so weird because like it doesn't feel like there's even like tangible names they're throwing out there. When they said the Washington thing, this is gonna make me sound stupid, but until he turned it down, I was like, why are they interviewing the Washington Redskin commander OC? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't think that's a good offer.
That don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense, man. I don't watch the NFL because you know how you know how they are. I don't. It's too much for me,
boy.
So I don't know what they're gonna do for the
OC. We've got just 5 minutes left here. We gotta get this. Yeah, we gotta send this over by 9.
All right. What were other topics that I sent you and then never made the Google Doc about? Oh, my dad.
Carl Logan says, did we talk about Kiffin's whiteboard yet?
Yeah, actually, I really want to do that. We'll do that next time. Anyway, other topics. I threw a bunch of these out here.
Yeah, we talked about most. Jalen. We talked about most of them outside of the biggest bust of all time.
Oh yeah.
So
well, I can just make that video after this. I know you want to get out of here because you're not committed to this podcast like I am, but it's fine.
If you'll recall, our producer asked us to send this over at 9.
I know, I was kidding. Also, pour one out. Oh, we already talked about Ken. My stepdad died. We talked about that. Ken got fired, which is great. Things are looking up, man. I'm back into being gruntled instead of disgruntled.
Well, that's good, man.
Yeah, that's how you should live life.
Gruntled.
That's pretty good, actually.
Just live life gruntled.
Yeah. Are we gonna go to any event in the off season?
I think we're still awaiting word on that.
No, we can just like I'm saying, like, should we do something? Like whether it's like I don't want to go to a spring game necessarily because that's. But I was thinking maybe like if there's like a weekend where there's like a baseball series, or maybe I think there's a basketball like for like the March Madness is in Birmingham. Should I start a 529 for my kids?
He follows me on Twitter. I cannot give financial advice on this podcast. So
if you have any questions about finances, just DM me. And Caden Bailey, what?
What are we talking about? All right, things are spiraling.
Everything was fine until Caden came in here, asking pertinent questions that are very uncomfortable to answer.
All right. Well, this has been great. We've lost Chris. He's gone forever.
Me? What are you talking about?
What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to find topics because we're trying to close out the show. All right, we need to start doing the uncensored moment of the week again too, by the way.
Okay. And
did you see that story about the person who found a penis just like in the parking lot of like a Golden Corral?
No, I didn't catch that one. Where was that?
Somebody sent it to me on Twitter. I had so many questions. Like, because like I was talking about how much I don't like king cake. Like, it's just like we're just having a conversation about that because I think it's weird as shit, and it's not that good either. And I don't know why it's so flat. But I was saying all that. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point." Also, did you see this story? And just seamless transition into like,
there was just a penis.
Yeah, somebody found genitalia in a Golden Corral parking lot. It was not in the chocolate fondue fountain, which is good. But I just have so many questions as to like my back hurts like now. So if I see a quarter on the ground, do I need it? Probably so. Am I gonna bend over to get it? No. So who's seeing a penis and was like, I gotta grab this, dude? I don't.
Wait, someone picked it up?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Scooter Robinson says it was at a gas station in Mobile, Alabama, but maybe that's a different story.
Scooter, did you find the penis?
Scooter, let us know in the chat if you
just very slow, monotonous. Like anyway, guys, yeah, it's been pretty slow news week. Scooter found a penis, so just kidding, Scooter. What kind of gas station was it though? I need to know that.
Got to be a Piggly Wiggly, right?
That's not a gas station, you idiot. They don't even sell gas. Everything they have is straight gas.
Yo, no brakes, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess. What do you do at 9 when we're done? Like you like run out of here like it's the like end of 6th period.
Well, it's up to this point. I haven't spent any time with my wife since about 7 a.m. So
y'all still together?
Yeah.
You still trying to make that happen, dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
She keeps keeping me around, you know.
I'm trying to put together a listener meetup on Valentine's Day at that gas station in Mobile. Anybody that wants to, so
in memoriam or to create new scenes?
I don't know what most of that word means. All right, Caden, we're gonna just stop with like any of the very weird comments about.
Yeah, we're ending this stream. All right, everybody go like and subscribe. Spotify, that's where you want to find us.
Yeah, and YouTube.
Thanks.